no one who's truly been able to like have this great, awesome build that's, yeah, because I have the gold base, bam! I did that, and it's never quite been that, but still, it does change the late game, and really, honestly, if you can deny your opponent's natural and starve them out, or pardon me, deny their third, you can really get yourself in a great position where, I mean, pretty much when the main mine's out, the natural mine's out at the same time, so you're just gone, you don't have anything to fall back onto, but here we are on Breon Terraces in the bottom right-hand corner. It is the Orange Terran player representing Team XL5, Koshkii.
And spawning in the top left, it is our green Zerg from Psystorm Gaming, Zergwave.
Right now, Koshkii tweeting out nerves are wreck. I don't know how to understand these crazy words that are coming on his face, but I know he's taken RSL quite seriously. He's tweeted about that a number of times, that he's pretty serious about what's going on in this right now.
He's a really good player, though, so I don't blame him.
I think it was maybe 6 months ago he was on Team XL5. He got picked up with a couple other players, and I was so stoked for them. North American players, XL5 started reaching their tendrils of control over to the North American scene, and more than just SC. Well, you got Pig, he's Zerg, so that's pretty much it. And then you had Agile Zerg for a while on it, so it's a majority Zerg right there. But Zergwave and it looks like so far Koshkii both playing relatively the same standard.
Yeah, we've got that hatch gas pull. We might see gas pulled out of, or we might see drones pulled out of gas to get that speed and then focus on more mining. We'll see what he does with those drones. If he keeps the drones in gas, maybe be prepared for a quicker Roach Horn, but it's way too early to tell what's going to happen there yet. Reaper out for Koshkii, going to go scout and see what's up.
And for Koshkii, he's also opened up with that, again, reactor from the racks. Now, often you do see, of course, Factory play into Hellion, but once again, he's going to go into 3 racks play. Not 3 racks Reaper, no. Just a very heavy bio timing attack, which I really like. And so far, Zergwave has scouted it, and maybe he's known that Koshkii plays that in TVZ, but overall, Zergwave has scouted it, and I think more so said, oh, interesting, you're going to go for some early Hellions and get some Roaches out to defend, which has not gone his way in Game 1, or maybe this Game 2.
So, one interesting note here is that the drones did stay in gas, so I'm curious what that extra gas is going to be used for here from Zergwave.
I've seen a lot of different drops occur because that just getting a little bit of extra gas, and honestly, there's a variety of different things I've seen with that. There's lots of extra stuff, and even banking up a little bit of gas, since you will have that surplus of minerals with the natural, you do have a surplus income, so you have an opportunity to use those minerals. Sometimes you just don't have enough gas to complement them, and make that happen.
Looks like we do have a Roach Warren going down, so we might see some quicker Roaches here.
Drone barely survives at that third base from the Reaper with that one nice extractor. Beautiful play. Reaper will kite for a little while, but once Metabolic Boost kicks in, it will be taken down. And Koshkii, now we're going to see the same thing Koshkii did last game, but off of a gold base. And with those gold bases, there is maybe a minute and a half where you have this big surplus where you wouldn't normally have, and that's when you can capitalize off of it and execute great builds. And I think this bio is going to hit much harder than Zergwave will be able to anticipate.
I think so too. I think this is going to be a lot stronger than the last game. And as you said, I don't think that Zergwave might realize what's coming his way.
Zergwave so far does have an Overlord at the third base of Koshkii. And one thing you got to worry about though on this map is, of course, you do have the gold third base. It's a little bit more variable than what it was in the previous game, where you know, okay, they will take that gold at the third almost 99% of the time. Now that's going to be his main indicator about what Koshkii is up to.
Zergwave, though, is heading across the map. He's got some Roaches and some Ravagers, so this is looking a bit scary right now. But with Koshkii having the high ground, you know, how do you think this is going to go for Zergwave?
Importantly, though, even though Koshkii has the high ground, he does not have siege tanks, which is generally kind of pretty dang important in these positions. And by the way, this is what I thought this build was overall to defend on layer like Crest. I thought we were going to see these Ravagers come out for Zergwave. And see, even the bio is just simply evaporating. This is a very hard build to defend as Terran. Lings are coming on in. SCVs are going to be pulled. There's no siege tank. There's no bunker. Nothing to fall onto. And the corrosive bios are gigantic. 10, 12 workers going down. Zergwave 2-0 beats X-Kawine and will move on to play Tefl in a TVT. X-Kawine will move on to play Pili Pili in a TVP. So we have a ZVZ and a TVP, but my oh my, with that game, I thought that build was perfectly geared to defend, but he runs down the ramp. I think he needed to keep a concave at the top, not run down the ramp. And man, even with doing it, just you need a bit bigger of that concave. But that was rough. I'm dealing with that myself. I've seen a lot of players deal with that.
Yeah, that even looks like, even with that concave, I think even then it would be close. That's not easy for a Terran player to deal with.
And you have that bio play that X-Kawine just executed, but you also have the biomech fusion where you have 2 or 3 siege tanks behind that, but you can't quite get 2 or 3 siege tanks at that point in the game. If you did open up more standard without the 3 racks, right when that happens, you're maybe at 10, like 5 to 10 Marines, a siege tank, and a medevac, and that's kind of what you have.
Yeah.
And think about that. You have half the Marines he had, then you have a siege tank, and maybe you can micro that, but still, it just overwhelms. It's a hard 2-base play to hit, and I think in that game, we saw Zergwave capitalize off those extra gold bases, minerals, a little bit better than X-Kawine could have.
Yeah, did a very good job. Alright, so I think now we're going to head out for a quick commercial break. But stick with us and we'll get our next series going shortly.